My daughter just started menstruating on Tuesday, and at that point, it hit me like, how often do we think of the fact that our little babies are soon going to be women? Long video alert. This video is going to be one of the longest I've done, but if you can stick till the end, you're going to be grabbing so much more. So please don't go anywhere. If you're new here, do not forget to subscribe. If you're old, thank you for always coming back. And if you subscribe, do not forget to put on that notification button, because that's where you know when I upload a video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello healthy moms, good day wherever you are. I am Larissa Livella, the Healthy Smart Mom, and welcome to the Nyango channel. Nyango means mothers, and on this page we talk all things motherhood. We give you tips and tricks to hacks to personal experiences to help you make your motherhood journey easy. Motherhood is hard enough, so I feel like if us mothers can share our experiences, then it's going to make it a bit easy for a mother out there, which is why today I'm talking about a topic which is not something that we usually talk about, but I realize that sometimes we concentrate so much on mothers who are taking care of younger babies, and then we forget about the mothers who have teenagers. Like that age which for me, sometimes I tell myself, okay, my kids are going to get to the stage where they don't like me, and it's okay. As far as I'm wanting the best for them and I'm not forcing them or forcing something on them, and I'm listening to them enough, then it's okay for them not to like me at some point. They are not going to like me always. So I was talking to this mom yesterday. I had to do a totally different video today, but I was talking to this mom yesterday, and the minute she told me her daughter started menstruating, first of all, I was really proud of her that her daughter could tell her that she started menstruating. But then she seemed very, very emotional, which is something which is expected. Even for me hearing it, I felt really emotional. And it just got me thinking, like, am I really ready for my daughter growing up? Am I really ready for my kids growing up? And most times we are not prepared for these things, and we let our emotions get the best of us. And that is the reason why we sometimes have mother-in-laws who are very clingy. They want to control everything in your home. They don't want to believe that their sons are big and they have taken wives. They don't want to let the wife take her place in the son's life, because sometimes we are not ready for our kids to grow. We want our babies to always be our babies, but something we have to understand is that they'll grow, and we have to be ready to let them fly away. If I can put it that way. I am not going to be doing this video from the point of a mother with a teenager, because my babies are still 4, but I'm going to be doing this video from the point of someone who was once a teenager, like telling you this from things which I feel like I needed from my parents at that point in my life. And if we can think back to when we were teenagers and the things that we need, then maybe we can actually help our kids better. So today I'll be telling us 10 things that you can do to help you manage growth and development in your child, complicated things like puberty, menstruation, when their voices start getting deep, when they start getting those erections, and those kind of things. What can you do to help you manage those things, like to actually watch your child grow without trying to tie them down, or maybe you not being able to manage yourself? And what should you do in the case that these things are happening, which a lot of mothers need them? Because how do you behave when your child comes to tell you, oh mommy, I started seeing my period? Or how do you behave if your child doesn't come to tell you, and then you find out for maybe their older cousin or somebody else in their lives? How do you handle it? How do you just meet them at that point where they need you and be the best parents or the best support system that they can have in that time? Let's talk about those things right now. Now for point number 1, right? The first thing is for you to educate yourself. Knowledge is power, and there is nothing more that you can do if you're not knowledgeable about a particular thing. I advise that you read books. You can read books, you can watch videos, go to YouTube ask type things like how to deal with teenagers, and you'll see a lot of videos pop up. And these days the internet is just in a way that it's like it's reading our minds. So you might want to type something and you see that okay, it has already been typed for you. So the first thing you want to do is educate yourself. Educate yourself on how to handle your emotions. Educate yourself on how to talk to your kids at this particular point in their lives. Because when kids become teenagers, they just don't like mommy that much. The time that love comes back is when maybe they go and start facing life and they're having a lot of challenges. And then they realize that, oh, my mom was really doing a lot for me. That's when it comes back. But around that teenage age, in their mind, they're like, who is this person that even wants to tell me where to go? So you have to educate yourself enough to know what to say, what not to say, how to deal with them, how to deal with their emotions, how to deal with their mood swings and all that. Now, the second thing you want to do is to be aware of your own emotions. As mothers, before I'll talk as parents in general, mothers have the tendency to want to always protect their child, like save the child from anything bad that is going to come their way. But the best way to raise a child is to let the child have their experiences, model life the best way you can, and let your child have the experiences, because that's the best thing you can do for them. You cannot always keep protecting them and holding them tight, because at a certain point they would have to leave your side and go and live life. And it is at that point that you know if you raised a great person or not. Because there are times that a child can be with you and they are doing things when they are with you because they are eye servants. So you have to understand your own emotions so that you don't overreact for things that you're not supposed to be overreacting for. In as much as you don't want to hide your emotions, you want to learn and be aware of your own emotions so you can control it. Now, the third thing you want to do is listen actively. At the age when puberty starts, or when you start getting to being teenagers, they might find other people more interesting than you because they feel like, oh, you're old school and you might not get what they're trying to say. A good way to make them know that you understand is first to listen to them and show them that you're listening to them. Because if your child says, oh mommy, I don't like you putting this thing in my bag when I'm going to school, I don't like you doing this, you can ask the child, but why don't you like it? I'm doing it because I care. And sometimes you might not even need to ask to say that. And if you see that, okay, that thing is actually really irritating the child, you might just maybe stop it for a few days. And then when you see that the child is calm and has realized that you're listening to them, you can now come to them, put them down, and tell the child why you were doing that thing. Or for the days that you were not putting that thing and actually listen to them, they might feel a different way, or they might see that maybe they actually needed that thing that you were putting in for them, or that thing that you were doing for them. So sometimes you just have to let them learn on their own. You don't have to force things on them. So listen actively and know what they want and know how you're going to support them. Listen to them, not other people, please. Point number 4, provide a safe space for your kids, right? Create the kind of space that your child always wants to return to. I'm sorry for looking down here. Because if your child doesn't feel comfortable sharing their challenges, sharing their emotions with you, then they are not going to come to you. If they feel like they are going to be judged by you, then they are not going to come to you. They are going to sort out for other people whom they feel like, okay, will not judge them and will tell them what they want to hear. So sometimes you have to just try to create a safe space for your kids, especially within that teenage age, because that is the time which they can fall off. Now, for the next thing which you can do is to help them identify their emotions, help them understand their hormones, help them understand what is going on in their bodies, make them know that it is not strange. You too went through it. If you have to tell them some of your own stories, then do so and help them to understand their emotions. But as I said before, you cannot help somebody understand their emotions when you haven't understood yours, or when you haven't educated yourself enough. So you have to do all the homework from the top before you get to this point where you can help them to identify their own emotions. Now, for the next thing, use empathy. Show love to your children, right? Show love to your children. And each time that you want to correct them, you want to tell them something, make them to know that you understand them. Put yourself in their shoes. I like to say that if we can just be the people that we needed at when we're at that age to our children, then maybe it's going to be a bit easier. I don't know if you understand this. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If we can be the people that we needed in our lives. You know, there was a point maybe when you were younger, you were going through puberty, that maybe your breasts were coming out. And for me, in my case, I had this big red gown that my elder sister had. It was a velour gown, so it was really thick. So when my breasts started coming out, I would wear this big gown so nobody around me would notice. I wanted to stay being a small girl, but then I was developing. I did not want anyone to know. But people around me did not understand why I was wearing that. And from time to time, my elder sister, who was some kind of troublemaker, would come and touch my breast and be singing, "Let me touch your garments and be healed." Imagine that point where your little breast is paining and somebody is doing that. Like, sometimes she'll do that and then they'll be like, "Yes, I know she wants to cry. Yes, I know that she's going to cry now. She's going to cry now." And then I'll just burst into tears. So those are emotions that were not attended to, because maybe they were doing things which they did not know. That is why educating yourself first is very, very important, because when you educate yourself, you know what else to do. Show empathy to your child. Put yourself in their shoes. Remember the days when you used to be a little girl, right? And treat them just how you wanted to be treated. So the next thing you want to do is to encourage healthy coping mechanisms. There are things that we do to cope with our stress, our challenges every day, even as adults, that are not healthy. For example, you feel like you're not valuable enough, you're not worthy enough. You go to your phone and you post a beautiful picture of you online, and people are liking the picture and they're telling you, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful." That's a not so healthy coping mechanism, because you're trying to use social media to soothe yourself, of which in that time which you're feeling like you're stressed, you're not enough. Something which you can try is exercise. Something you can try is journaling. You can try to talk to somebody whom you trust. Those are healthy coping mechanisms, right? You can do something for self-care. You can read a book that assures you on the fact that you're valuable enough. You can read your Bible. Those are healthy coping mechanisms. So you have to encourage your children to also do these things. When they are feeling stressed, they are feeling like they don't understand what's going on in their bodies, you can encourage them to read books about what's going on in their bodies. You can research a video and send them fun videos about those things. The funny thing is, even when your child gets married and they start doing stuff and having kids, a lot of parents just leave things at that level. But that is the point which they need you. They need you so much. At that point, you can actually scroll on Facebook, on YouTube, and search for videos which talk about how to keep your husband, how to cook good meals for your husband, self-care for yourself. You can share a video like this to your daughter who is having a child. So us parents, they are young, they are mothers who are elderly, but they have access to the internet and they have access to all these things. You can use it to the better and show your child that you still care for them, even though there is another person who is in charge of them at that point. Whether it's a boy or a girl, you can send your son things to do to make your wife happy. You can send your son possible surprise Mother's Day gifts for your wife. Those are things that we can do, such that no matter the age of the child, they always feel like, "Oh, my mom is always there for me." You are always providing that safe space. You never give up on that child, and they know that you're always somebody that they can run to. So encourage healthy coping mechanisms. At this point, if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe. Click on the subscription bell and put it on, the subscription button, and make sure to put on the notification bell so that each time we upload a video, you can be the first to know. Because when you subscribe, and also please leave a comment if you can. When you do these things, you help the YouTube algorithm to push this video to other mothers who might need it. Just by you clicking that like button, which is free, this video can pop up on a mother's search, which will make a whole difference in their life. Imagine how many mothers could be struggling with their children just turning 13 and they are starting to behave as if, oh, they know what is good for them, or the child has started menstruating and the mother doesn't even know how to start talking to the child. This video can be of help to them. So you can share to a mother whom you know needs it. Or you yourself, watch it, save it and watch it over and over so you're prepared for that time when you need it. Okay? Now the next thing I would like us to talk about, after you encouraging healthy coping mechanisms, is modeling healthy emotional expressions. So you have to show your children that even you face challenges. And when you face these challenges, you don't come back home from work because you're tired and you're shouting at everybody in the house. You don't come back home from work and because maybe your boss didn't pay you on time, you're angry with everybody at home. You have to model these things so that they know that when they have challenges, every challenge is an opportunity to grow. So that they handle their challenges better, because they know even when mommy is the most stressed, she doesn't put it on us. So even though I'm going through my puberty and I'm having my period and I'm having period cramps, I don't lock myself up in the room, because even when my mommy is going through the most stressing times in her life, or my dad is going through the most stressing times in their lives, they don't lock me up. They show me love and they do the things that they have to do. But first, they have to learn it from you. There's something which our parents always used to do. Like, if you're around my age, you will know this, or you're older than me, you will know this. Our parents always used to say, oh, in my days, I used to take first. Because of that, you make your children to see you as a saint, and it becomes difficult for them to get to you with their challenges, because they feel like it's not normal for you to have challenges as a human being. They feel like if you're a normal human being, you should be perfect, top-notch perfect, with no challenges, no stress, and everything going well. But if you show your child that kind of person, then you make them to be afraid of you. But then there is a thin line between a child being afraid of you and being so friendly that they can share things which normally they will not do, because they know my parents will not want me to do this kind of thing because of the way you've trained them. Motherhood is hard, and I believe that it's even harder for African parents because a lot of us mothers are not sharing our experiences. Please, what thing have you done in your own journey as a mother that helped you manage these changes that happened in your child? Drop it down in the comment section, and I guess it will be helping the mother out there. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video and you've not yet subscribed until now, what are you waiting for? It's time for you to please click on the subscription bell and press on the notification button, so each time I upload a video, you will be the first to know. Remember to like, drop a comment, drop something which you do that helps you manage the changes that come as your child grows. It's difficult to manage them. Like with me, I still carry my twins. They are 4 and their weight has increased so much, but I still carry them together most times because I just want to get as much love from them, so that when they actually grow up and you want to hug somebody, you want to kiss somebody, don't tell you, oh mommy, leave me alone, and then you start feeling down, you start feeling a bit depressed because your little babies have grown. But I tell you, if we all can be that person which we needed during those puberty ages, during those ages when we were developing so fast and things were going so fast, if we can be that person that we needed to our kids, then it will be much more easier to handle them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's keep raising healthy, wealthy, and exemplary moms, and raising healthy moms with healthy homes who are raising healthy kids. Thank you so much. See you next week, same day, same time. We post videos every Saturday at 3 p.m. This is the longest video I've done, and I hope you enjoyed it and you would come back here next week Saturday at 3 p.m. to watch the next one. See you next week. Bye.